Hey guys, I'm Carter here. Today I'll be talking about the state of the game right now. The state of the game at this specific moment in time isn't very good. Basically, the growth rate of this game is stagnating, and that's really fucking scary. Like, I don't think people understand how scary it is. Like, oh, and the same people keep coming back isn't that good? No, it's actually horrendously scary. If Apple had the same situation, they did have the same situation a couple years back or so, they were desperate to get new people because as soon as they start stagnating, it's basically the sign of a dead game. People are only going to leave. You have to bring new people in if you want something to survive. Imagine if CSGO never brought new people in. That's why they basically do tournaments and stuff. They have to bring people in, or else the game will die, and it's a really, really bad sign, and it's not good at all. So I'm sure any business knows this. I'm sure they know this and they understand this. These are just some things I've noticed empirically and statistically, hoping that maybe I can help someone out. So first of all, communication with the people of this game, or like the community of this game, or basically there's no fucking community manager. Like, who do we talk to when someone's wrong? Ubisoft does this. Remember, I know right now they're trying to like change up recoils. For I can Google it right now and it'll be easy as fuck. Reddit Rainbow Six Siege. It doesn't have to be. It basically has to be red. I don't know. I can't think of any other like site that does this. So let's go on Rainbow Six Siege and we're like, all you slow down here. Try hard, drop shooting jumps down. Okay. So basically, when people complain, for example, recoil. This has been a really hot topic. People are complaining and bitching about it. Um, Everyone's so upset right now. Like the community managers are always talking to people though. Recoil System News. Like, you see how devs are always posting up on here and they're talking to people? I bet they're responding to people too. Let's see. We have seen the feedback on the discussions, more habit. You see how like the devs are always involved with the community and they're letting people know knowing what's happening? People hate the fucking recoil system right now. No one wants this in the game, but the thing is they're talking to the community, they're help working it out, and it's actually pretty decent. People are okay with this. Like people want to know about it, they want to talk to the devs and they want to understand what's going on. Even if they don't really agree with it, at least talking to the community somewhat like puts them in the know-how. People are human, they want to know what's going on in general. What's happening with the game? What are you doing? What's the future of the game? No one fucking knows what's the plan in this game. What do you guys see in this game? We don't know what you see in this game. We're just like, oh, new update, cool, dog. Let's know. Like, we understand it's a mobile game, but think about it this like Clash of Clans. Clash of Clans always keeps their people updated, and they still do talk to people, even in their subreddit too. Like, I don't know if they talk to the subreddit for sure, but I'm pretty sure they have to. For them to have that big of a community, that means they have to manage their community some way, somehow. And even if they don't fully manage it, they at least have to respond to things. Like, they have to go out to their customers, their gamers, and try to like start some sort of conversation or some sort of feedback loop. But you don't have to listen to the community. For example, the recoil system, everyone's saying fuck this, dude, ban the animation changes, or like we hate recoil. And but like, hey, look, hey, I like the transparency. You see this? I'm not. This isn't staged, dude. I swear to God. I just picked this because I know this is a good situation right now. I don't even play this game that much anymore, but it's still a fun game. Um, the lack of any sort of community management is so horrible. And also, the customer service in this game is some of the worst customer service I've had in any game in my life. There's probably why like the rating for this game's 3.5 stars. It's probably people really pissed off with customer service. Every time you guys make a mistake, you have to compensate for it. League of Legends does this. I'm like, oh, we fucked up. Here's some VIP, I don't know, IP or like currency, or like oh, we fucked up Rainbow Six Siege. Here's some extra free stuff, or I don't know. Every decent game, when they mess up something, they give some sort of compensation, and this is because they know they will mess up and they'll mess up again. The community knows you'll fuck up again. But if you want to at least make right on what you've done wrong, you have to be able to make up for it in some way somehow. So on Error 7115 and like there are times when people still can't fucking play for some reason. That's okay. It's going to happen. You have to like go through these mistakes in order to improve the game for the long run. That I'm not naive to that fact, but I'm not naive to the fact that you're just gonna piss people off eventually, and no one's gonna like play anymore. You're just gonna build up a worse and worse reputation as time goes on. It's not good. Your reputation's all that you have as a company, and if you lose your reputation and your branding, no one's gonna play your shit anymore. It's really really important that you keep a good reputation. Um, I think that's pretty much it for communication. I'll talk more about solutions later. I have a whole solutions page here, but let's go and talk to bad card design. So in general, when you make cards in strategy games, you want to reduce the amount of RNG possible. So the only games that have RNG in like sort of card games and stuff is Hearthstone. But Hearthstone's a type of game that's specifically made to turn your brain off. If you wanted this to have a somewhat of a strategy sort of element to it, you have to have a consistent gameplay, and you have to have consistent results when you play the game. So, for example, when you play Tarkin, when you play Lando, and when you play Yoda, they're all inconsistent. It's really, really unfun and really, really obnoxious to the player playing against them and playing with them. For example, Tarkin, if he gets 5 energy regens in a row with his passive or whatever, he's insanely strong. He's basically the best hero in the game in those like 10 seconds. But if he doesn't get it, he's like the worst hero in the game. Like, you can do like 0.5 energy like refunds and stuff. There's no reason you can't do 0.5 energy refunds. I know that you're trying to keep the game simple so everyone can join in because it is a complex game, to be fair. So you have to do like increments of 0.25 at most, well, at least technically. So if you do anything that's not like 0.25, it's kind of weird. Maybe 0.3 or maybe 0.05. You just have to like play with even numbers, but they have to be relatively close to being balanced in a sense that, like, hey, I know if I use my set of skills here, it's going to have the same results 99% of the time or something, right? So like having a 25% dodge is so obnoxiously stupid. League of Legends tried this. These are my notes, by the way. Of course, I'm speaking through the outline. I didn't plan this out too much, but I did have a planning sort of outline. Anyways, so the dodge in League of Legends, they took it out and they compensated people for it. That's what a good company does. People were happy when they got taken out, and they were happy that they got compensated for it, so no one was mad. Riot was like, hey, we fucked up on this design. We'll compensate you for this. Don't worry, you won't lose anything. We'll let you know what's going on, what's happening, and you know what? We're gonna improve. We're gonna just give you, I don't know, other things just in case, like, you'll be happy with it with some other content patch. That's what a good company does. Why do you think League of Legends is the top game in the world? It's because they have the best community management I have ever seen in my life. Like, they have people that are like legends, like Crepo and stuff. Like, I don't know if Crepo's still around, but they always have people around to do things. Use your community as well. Like, your community's there for your use. And it might sound really bad, but like, I do free advertising for your game, man. Like, I don't know, use people. Don't even use me. I'm like a small YouTuber. I only have 200 subscribers yet. I only get like 300 views on my videos at most. I think the biggest video I've done was 500 views. It's not that much. You should use bigger YouTubers than me if you really want to do that. I'm probably too vulgar and profane anyways for large exposure, and I'm highly aware of that fact. So yeah, don't put RNG in and use your community. I forgot to put user community and communication, but it's fine. Card design is often very, very lazy. I hate to say this. If you're gonna make a single patch to add 2 cards that are fucking this lazy, you just triple the card. Oh, one sniper wasn't enough? How about we give you 2 more snipers in a card? Whoa, mind blown. It's like, what the fuck? And then Talisman Marauders. You think 3 Marauders enough? How about we triple it? Oh, we get 9 Marauders now. They're all weak to area of effect, but this entire patch was dedicated to this. I think you guys have learned from this, but I just want to like reiterate that you guys know that this isn't acceptable at all whatsoever. Like, this isn't acceptable, but this is a little bit less acceptable. But this is one of the small things that if you guys at least pretend to put in some effort and like you just add in like a hero with this while you're putting in these cards, no one's gonna be upset about it. Like, hey, you know what we added in Sniper Army and Cad Bane? Okay, I guess like it's kind of cool. We got a hero and a support card that's on the side. This is easy. It probably takes like 20 minutes to make this card. Like, it's probably not too hard. Oftentimes you guys gotta do some reworks on some characters like Baze and Dengar. I know it's really tough to balance things out. I know you guys are working on this. I know you also have realized that your card designs aren't always good because the new cards are a lot better than the old cards you have released. For example, Yoda has some defense, he has some ranged skill with area of effect. He's mobile as a melee unit, and he does a lot of damage. So I'm sure you guys understand that, oh shit, we have to give characters utility, and we have to make them decent with their kit. These guys obviously you messed up on. I know you guys know that you messed up on these guys. At least pretend to fix them, or I don't know, buff them small amounts. Also, when you balance cards, don't be too heavy-handed. You guys are way too heavy-handed on balancing. I'm gonna add that in right now, actually. Uh, I did this before, but actually, you know what? What the fuck? Okay. Whenever you guys balance, you guys change huge numbers around. You guys don't have to change things that much. Just change things a little bit at a time so you get the right amount. It's just like, for example, 40th Vader was heavy-handedly balanced. And then, well, 40th Vader, and then, what else was heavy-handedly balanced? Boba Fett was heavy-handedly balanced. You kept buffing him a little bit at a time, but you buffed him 4 times in a row. Like when you balance ATSD, where you change small numbers that made it like slightly viable but not too overpowered, that was really good. Why aren't you guys doing it with heroes? Like, I don't really understand. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Just like when you guys balance heroes and stuff, be careful with the numbers, especially heavy-handed balancing. Let's talk about Yoda. Holy shit, he's got bad design. First of all, with RNG, and secondly, you heavy-handedly balanced him. That was really, really bad. 5% might not seem like a lot, and it's definitely way too much. So, balancing through limiting cards is also another terrible idea. The only time I think this is okay is Sniper versus Sniper Army, and this is intentional. A 3 Sniper shouldn't be, like, each of the, like, basically, I don't really want to explain it, but it makes sense that you're limiting Sniper Army because it's a value card. You're getting 3 snipers for 6 energy, so they all shouldn't be worth 3 energy. So, it's obvious that you guys are limiting cards. Your community is not that fucking stupid, first of all. I feel like you guys think we're stupid. Oh, we won't notice this. Whenever you do shady things, it affects us directly. None of us are that fucking stupid. And if we don't realize it at first, we will realize it in the future. You can't get away with things forever. You never get to get away with anything. Especially if you're a company. Like, you kind of get to get away with things for a while, but it'll catch up to you eventually. Maybe not in this generation. You might not plan to get in this generation, but it'll happen in the future, and it'll hurt your reputation quite a bit. So, you guys got to think about the long run, like the impact of this. I know you're just trying to band-aid it, but it's such a terrible band-aid that doesn't make sense. So, card scaling ruins any type of balance. Basically, whenever you want to limit cards from people leveling it up, it's only benefiting the people that pay a lot of money. So basically, you're just making the pay-to-win problem worse. And the problem is with this is that it's just not going to be good for new players. New players are going to get the cards they need. They're not going to be able to level them up quickly, and they're just going to be destroyed by people who are veterans who already got it. I know you guys can't take cards away, but what you can do is just reduce scaling. So reducing scaling is probably the best way to balance the game right now. I can't see any other way, because right now the game is pay to win with strategy aspects. And what do I mean by this? What I mean by this is that if you're a level 1 character with level 1 commons and stuff, and you face against a level 17 guy who's max leveled, you're gonna lose every single time, no matter what. Like, if the guy sits AFK at his spawn and just spawns random units, you're gonna lose. You can't do anything about it. So card levels are more important than skill unless you're close enough in card levels. That's basically what I'm trying to say. It's insane. Like, for example, a level 2 chopper against a level 16 tower. I got this from Boba Fett. So basically, if you have a level 2 chopper against a level 16 tower, you basically can't play chopper and backdoor with it ever. Because by the time chopper gets to the tower, it's going to be dead. It can't even stop its attacks. You can't balance its cards around levels. You just can't do it. You could reduce the scaling and have it, have it less likely that'll happen. Like, I know what I said of level 1 versus level 17. That's almost never gonna happen. But realistically, 3 levels in this game is insane. 1 level in this game is insane. 6% scaling on every common, rare, and epic, or 10% on every unique and legendary. That's fucking nuts. There's no way characters can players can feel like they're having fun with this. They're gonna feel cheated. And if players feel like they're cheated, they're not gonna keep playing, and it's gonna have the worst cycle of all time. They don't actually when people gamble, they at least feel like they're gonna win, right? They're like, oh, I got a chance to win, guys. They don't really feel cheated. But when they're playing a game that's blatantly unfair, they're gonna feel very, very cheated. So when people are playing blackjack, it's like 49% win rate, right? Like the house wins 1% extra at the time, so it doesn't feel that unfair. It's obviously unfair. The house always has to win to make money. I'm not blind to that fact, but the fact is, they always try to make the people, at least give them the illusion that they're having a fair shot. Even though it's not fair, you have to make it pretend like it's fair. So if you make the illusion that card levels don't matter as much, but they still matter, it could help this problem a lot. It's blatantly unfair. It's like, I get comments of people saying, "Oh, dude, this is the fucking whale, man." Like everyone hates whales. I'm in a guild called I Hate Whales. It's probably one of the most popular guilds right now. It's almost like it's like social commentary at this point. But anyways, like the card scaling in this game makes it impossible to bounce around. Like death timers basically do nothing against higher level characters. I was complaining about State of the Meta and things, and I thought about it more. And I was talking to Nomadic Star Wars Sports Arena, also subscriber's channel by the way. He makes good content. I was talking about card levels, and card levels just ruin the game completely. Because as soon as you have certain strategies against like other characters, you can't do the strategies anymore at all if they're higher level than you. You become basically into the ultimate turtle and you have to play passive as possible. And it's just really unfun. Like, it's not fun at all for anybody. So card scaling just ruins any sort of attempt to bounce. You might as well not even bounce the game anymore if you're gonna have card levels at this point. It doesn't make any difference. Yeah, I'll just go into the next point. I have solutions here, but I'm gonna move the solutions down just a little bit, and then I'll keep players having fun. You know, I'll just delete this. Nah, I think that's good enough to keep there. So anyways, players basically have no fun anymore. So when I say that paywalls aren't sustainable, it's so obvious you're doing paywalls. You have to at least give them the illusion that they're not being forced to pay. What players do is like they play for a week or two, and they're like, dude, I keep losing to people with like 3 levels higher in cards than me. I can't fucking do anything. They just quit. Why would they pay hundreds of dollars? Like, it doesn't make any sense for them to pay. The only people who can play, like who can be free to play, are people who've been playing since the beginning, like me. I probably paid around $60, and that's basically around my limit because I don't want to pay more than like a AAA game. Because this game is definitely not worth a AAA game with the balancing, the way you're treating the community right now. I kind of refuse to do that. And like, you guys have this endless cycle. I'm sure you're aware of this. I'm sure you have all the statistics, and you all know that the player experience is horrible. No new players want to play this game, and it's basically just old returning players and old Smurfs making accounts and going through. So it kind of creates a cycle though. Like it's a lot bigger of a problem in this pay-to-win game than it would be in a free-to-play game. The biggest problem is that like no new players means more bots and a worse experience cycle. So basically, how I believe the cycle goes is that new player joins, he's like, oh, dog, I'm playing hella well, let's get playing. He plays against some bots, he's just going to go shoot straight up through that ranking system. You know why they're going to shoot straight up? Because they're bots. They're not going to apply much resistance, and you don't want to give too much resistance to new players. You want to cater to people who have no idea what they're doing yet. They have to learn about the game in order to get good at the game, right? They have to make mistakes. So they're going to shoot up through the ranking system, hit that paywall with everyone who's higher level than them, completely crushing them. People who, like, skills that they learned through playing against bots and like people against their level, fucking useless. No point even learning the skills because you're gonna get crushed every single time, almost every single time, basically. And it's like a worse experience cycle. They quit, and then a new player is gonna take their place, and then it's gonna happen to them as well, and then they're gonna quit, and then someone else is gonna do the same thing, and then it's gonna happen the same thing again, and then they're gonna quit. So it's just like it's such a bad cycle, and I know you guys know this. It can't be dealt with, and the matchmaking is horrible. I don't think this is fixable. I think this is primarily due to card scaling. Since this is a pay-to-win based game with skill attributes, I don't think you can matchmake this game properly at all whatsoever. I don't think it's possible. I don't. Clash Royale sort of does it. I don't think they do it that well. It's notorious for being pay-to-win, but they do really, really well in revenue. So I'm not sure. But the thing is, I don't think the system for Clash Royale would work for this game because this player base compared to Clash Royale is so much smaller. Like, you guys already have accumulated a pretty bad reputation, and I'm not sure if you guys can do that sort of thing. You could try it, but it's obviously not working if you're doing anything. Clash of Clans can do this sort of thing because it's fair. So they have a lot of players. So if you pay to level up your town hall really, really quickly in Clash of Clans, You get matched with people who paid a lot too, or people who've grinded that much too. And you get matched in relatively fair games. You see how, even though it's not fair, like, if guy, as soon as he gets to Town Hall 11, he spends $200 on gems or whatever, and, like, they just start, like, boosting up the researching their units, get higher level defenses and stuff. Like, as soon as they start doing that, it's obviously not too fair, but at least it seems fair because it's the same Town Hall, right? You see how it seems fair even though it's not that fair? You have to stay within, oh, it's kind of fair, so I guess it's not too bad. Like, you guys aren't even trying, you guys aren't even close to that. It's blatantly unfair. It's just cheating players out of their time, basically. It's just so fucking far from what it should be. It's terrible. And it's a counterintuitive pay-to-win gate. So I know it's called the hard progress gate in the gaming community. Well, not in the gaming community, in, like, the business side. So counterintuitive design and pay-to-win competitive. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, you can't have a competitive game and have it pay-to-win. You can have it sort of pay-to-win. For example, League of Legends, Rainbow Six Siege, these games are competitive. They're very, very competitive, but they have a pay-to-win gate. And their pay-to-win gate is that in Rainbow Six Siege, you gotta buy new operators, but the new operators are really expensive. And then after you buy the new operators, you gotta buy attachments. You gotta buy muzzle, you gotta buy grip, you gotta buy a scope, you gotta buy, like, a secondary laser sight or whatever, secondary muzzle, and you can have some skins too. You can do whatever. In League of Legends, you gotta buy runes. You gotta level up your character, and to level up your, no, not your character, your account, and to level up your account, you can pay some money to level up quicker. Like, you see how these guys have different revenue streams that don't make the game inherently that unfair, but there is some unfairness there, so that they, they could promote people who want to pay money to be a little bit higher than the people who aren't paying. That's how you're supposed to do it if you really, really want to make good revenue streams. You guys can't blatantly just hard fuck people and expect them not to notice it. The hard progress gate's it's not sustainable. It's just never gonna work with a competitive game. You're trying to make a competitive game with a hard progress gate, just doesn't make sense. It can't work. I'm not sure how you'll do this, but I have some solutions on the bottom. You're gonna have to do some major changes on this one, honestly. Or you can just let the game die and just try to milk it out. Those are your two options, basically. So when I say it's not skill-based, basically I'm just rehashing this point from all of these points. So when I say it's not skill-based, of course, card levels matter more than your skill in this game, honestly, unless you're relatively close. So if you get like a level 10 guy with commons versus a guy with level 17 cards, the level 17 guy is gonna win 99% of the time. If the level 17 guy literally just puts some cards in one lane and just runs into the tower, sitting there, not even attacking the tower, he will win 100%, like 99% of the time. I don't imagine that being countered by some guy with level 10 commons. You're just gonna lose every single time. There's nothing you can do about it. Like, if someone asked me how do I beat that, I'd say don't play it. Just turn off your phone, go chill, and then come back to the next game and hope you don't see that again. That's my best advice for them, because you can't win. You literally can't win. Maybe the Reddit community will be upset with this one. Actually, they probably will be, because Reddit community is the most competitive part of the game, all put together because they actually care about the game. They love the game enough to even talk about it and go to the forums about it. And it doesn't make sense why you're not using them, in a sense that, like, hey, we're having this event, you guys, like, take part of it, what do you guys think? Like, it doesn't make sense why you're not using them. Like, just listening to them without telling us you're listening to us doesn't really make a lot of sense. Yeah, like, even the mods in the community ask for advice and stuff. It makes sense to go up and ask for advice. It doesn't have to be like RuneScape where you do polls and stuff what people want, but that would make a lot of sense. I know you guys do listen, for sure. I know 100% you guys do listen, but you guys never respond to anything. Your community manager needs to do something. He can't just sit around and do nothing and just kind of listen. He has to go out to his customers, and he has to be a proper salesperson or a proper representative to make sure that he's doing his job well. So when I say fake it till you make it to act successful in this solution pile, it might not sound like it makes sense, but let me explain this one. So you have to fake it till you make it in the sense that you have to act like a successful game to actually become like a successful game. You might not, if you act like a successful game and you fail anyways, at least you tried, and at least you gave your company like a fighting chance to make this game one of the top greats. Like, this game has huge potential. You're using the Star Wars IP, you're making like a good game with good graphics. Like, your art designers are doing a stellar job. Excellent job by your art designers. I can't commend them enough. And like your animations department, also great job. Like, they're doing really, really well. Your card designers, they're highly lacking, but like anything when it comes to visuals in this game is beautiful. The UI is enhanced. I know you guys are doing stuff. Also, speaking of UI, why the fuck don't we have 4 card packs? That doesn't, not 4 card packs. 4 slots for decks. Like you can just make it unlock where you know how you kind of limit decks to make the game simpler? You could do it so as soon as they lock another slot for their deck, they also unlock another slot for another deck slot, if that makes any sense. Anyways, that's besides the point. Um, you have to kind of copy the greats to be a great game. So, for example, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds copied a successful game like H1Z1 to be good. I know this game's trying to do that. It's trying to be like Clash Royale. But the thing is, obviously, you can't copy them completely. You have to change things up to fit your gameplay style. You probably have to make it a little bit more competitive if you want it to continue. I know your game's doing fine. I've seen your statistics. You're just not growing at all. And basically what happens to your player count, every time you release a big update, people come back and they try it out. And then they quit because they realize it's a paywall. That's basically what happens. Anyways, use your community. Make sure, use YouTubers, probably YouTubers that are bigger than me and less profane. If you guys paid me, maybe it'd be less profane. You know, come on, give me money, guys. I'm just kidding. Actually, no, I'm not really kidding. If you guys paid me, I'd definitely be less profane. Use your Star Wars fans. There are a lot of Star Wars nerds on this game, dude. Holy shit. I'm sure the developers are Star Wars nerds too. At least some of them. I don't think about all of them. You can make some events and stuff, like some in-game events and stuff where people like go together or thumbs up each other and stuff. Like you could do some really positive things for small rewards. You could definitely like manipulate your community to do things. When I say manipulate, I don't actually like mean trying to manipulate them to pay more. Like I don't know, manipulate them to be nicer to each other or use emotes more properly by giving them some bonuses or something. Or I don't know if you guys can do physical events. I don't think this game's that big yet, because I actually do have hope for this game. I really do have hope for this game. I believe it can be that, but yeah, we'll see. So you can make some like in-game events and stuff too to make it really, really interesting, or clan chats or clan systems and stuff. You guys can do a lot of creative things with this. Whoops, YouTube events. Whoa, maybe you could do a YouTube event. Hey, maybe that's a real thing. I don't know what I did here. Okay, so there are other ways to create revenue. So I know your main source of revenue is for people to buy cards, right? But it's not going to work forever. Only some people keep buying cards, and you know there are players that are legendary for this, like Rom 180, Shinwei, and I don't know. There's like a bunch more legendary pay-to-win guys that no one really wants to play against, right? Like they're legendary and they're notorious. Actually, they're more notorious than they are legendary. Um, you could make skins. Like if you had I could probably just come up on the top of my head. You know how Darth Vader got completely wrecked by Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith? I think it's I don't remember. It's something weird. It's one of the older ones. Anyways, like you know, like Darth Vader got completely messed up. If you had like a Darth Vader skin where he was completely like beat up and like you know some of his robot parts were coming out, that would be sick, dude. I'd pay $5 for that skin, hands down. I wouldn't even fucking care, dude. I'll give you $5 fucking for that skin if you give it to me right now. I like you know how Anakin got his, well, maybe before he got his legs chopped off. You know how he's going to the dark side? He's got like a hood, and he's got like yellow eyes. He's became a Sith already. That's fucking dope. Give me skins like that, and I'll pay for it, dude. People will be happy to pay. You don't have to like force people to pay for the paywall. There are other ways to like actually get people to spend money. People want to enjoy their visuals. I know your art teams are really, really, really good. You have one of the best art teams in any mobile game I've ever seen. Utilize them. What the fuck are you guys doing? Utilize your art team. They're super talented. They're some of the best art teams I've ever seen. It's insane. You probably need to optimize the game a little bit more for that, honestly. You probably should work on optimization too, if you want the skins to come out, but I don't know. This is just a good solution for now. Card levels shouldn't matter in rank. This is just a design philosophy that it just doesn't make any sense. So what you could do is you could swap arcade mode and ranked mode, where levels matter in arcade mode because it's unbalanced anyways. It's not going to be balanced in arcade mode, and I know you guys know that. You tried to remove Tuberous too, but you just know it's never going to be balanced. So why even try balancing it, right? Just have card levels be unbalanced arcade mode and let people fuck around with it, right? Like, you know, make sure people have rewards, and you can have a grind to buy heroes where they keep playing arcade mode and they get more heroes and stuff and they get cooler things. But you should just make it harder to get more like new legendaries, but easier to level them up and stuff, so you can make more money that way. I'm not too sure, But the design philosophy of card levels mattering in ranked is inherently flawed, and people feel very, very cheated if they play competitive mode, and they just get fucked for trying it. It doesn't make any sense. Grind to buy heroes with usual feedback loop. The feedback loop of how, you know, they get screwed constantly. Let's see if I have it. Players have no fun. Yeah, this feedback loop, you can abuse this in arcade mode. If you abuse it in ranked mode, it's inherently flawed. It's just never going to work. In arcade mode, people are like, you know what, dude, it's just an arcade mode. You don't have to go to an arcade. But if you want to play a competition where things are supposed to be fair in a tournament mode, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Tournaments are supposed to be relatively fair. That's why people do double elimination in tournaments, because it's relatively fair. It's not completely fair. The most fair thing for a tournament would be everyone to play against each other, or teams to play against each other every single one times when they calculate the points. But that would ruin the sanity of people, so they do double eliminations, right? Relatively fair is an important key word here. You can still abuse, make it pay to win, but it has to be a lot less pay to win if you want it to grow. It's just never going to be big enough. You can't. I don't know if you can be like Vainglory. Vainglory is completely not pay to win at all. You just pay to get heroes and stuff. That would be nice if you guys could do that, but I don't know if that's viable anymore. Since you already have a bad reputation of being pay to win, I think if you just reduce it, it's probably good enough, and that's probably the way to go, because people already paid a lot of money, and you don't have to piss them off too much, even though you have the rights to. If you wanted to, you could just completely balance all the levels out right now. But I don't think that's the best business move. I think just reducing the pay to win right now and changing it over to some other way, shape, and form where they're not completely screwed over, but you're also helping the long-term view of this game. Make sure you fix your old mistakes of compensating people when they get error code 715 or they just can't play the game properly and balancing. Like, you can't have a pay to win game and have it also never compensate people. Games that are free to play compensate people when the things don't work well. It just doesn't make any sense. Make sure you fix up your old balancing things. So, there are a couple final notes I want to talk about. Game is not even close to being dead. It's just not close to being dead. It's on its way down because of the way you guys are handling the game. It will die. With the poor management, it's very obvious. It affects the community a lot. People realize that people know. I realize that you might not feel like it's worth it because you don't have that many people on Reddit or you don't have that many people in your forums. But trust me, it matters a lot more than you realize, because even though it might be a phone game, what do people do in the bathroom when they're like on their phone? They go to Reddit. They go to the forums and stuff. Go to your fucking customers guide. That doesn't make any sense. We know that you know this too. We know that you listen, but we have no responses to anything. Make sure you talk to us about like what's happening, what's going on. This is specifically for a healthy bit of skepticism. Whenever I have to assume that you guys are doing it on purpose. I don't have to assume it, but I have to keep it in the back of my mind, because while I'm doing this it could be completely for nothing. I could be trying to help you guys out for no reason at all. Of course, it's biased. It's biased by me. It's always going to be biased because I'm doing it. I've made this entire list, so of course it's biased. But you could be doing it all on purpose. You could just be trying to cash out on the short term, but it doesn't make any sense. Like, if you want to keep your jobs and you want to have it a long term, you want to have successful games, you want to be proud of what you've done, you want to have jobs in the future and like show it on your resume and be proud of it. It's hard to believe this, but you could be doing it on purpose, but I doubt that. It doesn't really make that much sense to me. I'm not going to go into the gambling dilemma for kids about the 4x4 draws and like the RNG of card packs. I'm not going to get. It's just like, it's not part of this. I'm talking about the business side and why the business side is completely flawed. I'm not going to go into the ethical side. Ethical side has nothing to do with this at all or whatsoever. And it doesn't really bother me at all, to be honest. Gambling for kids is more like cases and stuff, and I just don't really see it as much in this game. But it is there, to be fair. So yeah, that was a 30-minute rant, guys. Holy shit. This is going to be a final note for the developers. If you're a viewer, yeah, subscribe if you want some more. This is just the final note for the developers, like kind of like a personal thing. I've worked some terrible jobs in my life, and I have a feeling that working for Netmarble does suck a lot. I just have that sneaky suspicion. And I hope that you guys do better, or hope your higher-ups treat you better, because I don't know. I have a feeling that since you guys aren't treated very well, you oftentimes mismanage the game, because you're like, why would I do my work? Fuck this game. I don't want to fucking do this. Everyone treats me like shit here. I've done some terrible jobs. I've become a door-to-door salesman. Door-to-door salesman is one of the hardest jobs of all time, dude. It's so stressful, and it's so... It's just, if anyone's thinking about doing it, don't change over to that job. I think the job you have is probably decent. Obviously not all of your jobs are going to be decent, but I think for the most part, you guys are going to have decent jobs. And I hope that you guys end up doing pretty well. And I hope that if you improve your situation in their company and your standing, it'll hopefully reflect on the game. And I know that whenever you make a product, it reflects on the people who made it. So whenever company makes a product, the company attitude, the company politics, and the company's there's a word I'm looking for, but I just can't think of it. Company's attitude, politics, and individuals, I guess. It's not the exact word I want, but it's pretty close. All affect what comes out of the game, and I really hope that you guys are doing well. Even if your job sucks, just do the best job you can for now, and like try to get a better job in the future. Yeah, you want to be proud and put this on your resume, regardless of what happens, and it really sucks. So, hopefully, you guys are doing okay on the grind, and yeah, yeah, I hope you guys do well, and I hope you treat the game with some justice, because it does affect a lot of people. You might not think it's like important, but a lot of people really pour their heart and soul into games they play and their passion and things. And I just hope you guys feel better in general. Oh, so well, 40-minute, almost 40 minutes, so a 36-minute rant. Anyways, yeah, that was it. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, I don't think I'll do face cam rant for too much in the future. It's just like, it's not my style, dude. I don't like doing this. I know I'm highly negative sometimes, but I call it like I see it. Rainbow Six Siege is doing really well. They're going to keep doing really well as far as this foreseeable future. PUBG's probably capped out. I think they will do a little bit better though. Depending how they manage their community, they can do really well in the future as well. And yeah, that's it. Also, For Honor should be a dead game, but the community management is so good that the game won't die just because the community is so tight knit together. The game's horrible and the game's basically trash and unbalanced, but at least it's not like blatantly. It is blatantly unbalanced, but at least people talking to the community is one of the biggest parts. So I think the first thing you guys should start with is communication. Man, I've been rambling on forever. Well, thank you to those who've listened to this far, and yeah, I wish you guys all the best of luck, and let me know what you think. And if you're a community manager, you can like DM me or something. Like I'll be your spokesperson, dude. Just pay me if you pay me anything at all. I'll basically be your spokesperson. Right now, I got cut on my hours of work, so it's probably why I've created more videos and stuff. I lost my hours, and it's a little bit rough for me, but I'll be okay. You know, I made $8 off YouTube, guys. I'm fine, dude. I'm chilling. So yeah, I can't think of anything else I want to say, but new shit keeps happening, dude. Having ADD sucks. Alright, guys. I think that's it, so have a good one. Peace out, and yeah, this is Ankara.